We're good.
We're good. How are you?
Awesome. Good. How are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
back,
I mean,
guys.
welcome back, everybody. I'm streaming from the road today. I'm like up in the Berkshires, on the outside. It's so nice, so much grass. Probably hear the birds and the music they're playing. But Friday, how are you?
Friday. I'm good. End of the week. Excited the games are back. Yeah, all is well. It's hot in New York.
Hey, you know what? We drove. What, we left at 5 in the morning, and we drove 3 hours north. And so it's really nice. It's gonna get warmer as we go through time. Um, ooh, this is using my microphone for. There you go. It's a little better, probably. And then, yeah, I'm excited to spend the weekend. Erica has flexible Fridays in the summer, and so decided to not
Is that
spend
what
them
they
all.
call it? Flexible Fridays?
I don't know what they call them, to be honest. There's a word call over there. She's doing her thing. Um, so funny. Like my thing is this, and she's like working on like buying some company. Some,
Yeah,
it,
that's how. I mean, obviously it's different, but my sister works in finance at Deutsche Bank, and I told her about Erica working at JP Morgan. She's like, "That's so cool." But anyways, whenever I'm around her when she's working, it's like not even English to me. I'm like, "What are you saying?"
that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I was in the industry prior, so I know. But sometimes
Yeah.
like there's things that have changed since. And I'm like, what was that? And she's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, and I feel like someone's left out. But here we are with Friday going into the bulk of the quarterfinals for the World Cup, which I'm starting to just I don't know, like gets even sadder. I don't want to get sad, but there was a big some viral tweet yesterday where the guy was like, I missed the group stage, so many games, and like
Yeah.
I want to be happy. I mean, I think yesterday game maybe was not that good, and maybe we can kick off talking about it. 2-0 France. I don't know if you watched it or not. I know you were busy with some personal stuff, but maybe you got to catch the highlights.
Yeah, I got the highlights on. Unfortunately, I had something in the middle of the game, so I didn't get to see the actual game, but I watched highlights and I saw a lot of great saves, goals, etc. So I'm excited to kind of go over it.
Cool. Yeah. So I watched the whole thing, and it was, I would say, I keep saying scripted, not in like, it's been pre-planned, but more like if you were
Yeah,
to write a script as to how this game would have gone, I think it went right by that, right?
yeah,
With the France, that was very much still the favorite. I don't think there anybody can stop them this year. We'll see. They were aggressive from the get-go. I mean, they got a penalty kick early on that Mbappe missed. Well, they
yeah.
didn't miss it. It was a great save by the goalie. Again, that whole like stop and go way of kicking PKs is just a
Doesn't work. I
disgrace.
don't know why they keep doing it.
And the keeper did such a good job. I think
Yeah,
this keeper has faced something like 8 penalties in World Cups and only given up two. So you got to try harder with him than just like shooting it to the bottom, to the keeper's left in the bottom, even close to the body. Like it was
yeah,
not good. But Morocco did a good job at defending. They didn't create any chances up top. We were talking yesterday how they were, a good scoring team, but they only recorded 5 shots in the whole game, with one of them being on target.
yeah,
So again, it's kind of games where like you are a heavy underdog. You know the other team's going to score a lot of goals.
yeah,
You got to make sure that not only do you create chances, even if you only create two or three, you got to put him on goal. And Morocco did not do a good job at that at all. And then France, just kept trying, kept trying, wore the defense down, and like we were talking yesterday about like how like a lot of teams by the end of the game they're just you feel like they're no longer playing as well, and that's what happens. And France just completely dominated the rest of the game
yeah.
and got the result that they wanted. I don't know why the graphic has 3 goals because it was a 2-0. I think our little API had the penalty kick going in. It did not go in. So Mbappe scored one and then Dembele scored one. And they were good goals. Again, I don't think anybody can beat France this year. Like I just don't see it at all. And I'll be shocked if they don't just win the like all the way to the finals in regulation. But
It's
never say
just
never.
crazy that they haven't had. any games where I'm like, France is gonna lose. Like I feel
Right.
like with Argentina, they've had what 3 games in a row where I'm like two, where I'm like, this is they're done for, and they ended up finding a way out. But like with France, like you said, I just think they're so solid, and they haven't had any goals they've given up where I'm like, oh, that was like pretty bad. I think they've just been very clean and consistent, and I feel like they're very sure of them, the way they play and the way like they can possess the ball. That it's like there's no doubt that they might be the ones to take it home.
Yeah, and they haven't been scored in the knockout stage, which is crazy to think
Yeah,
about. It's still the World Cup knockout stage, and of course, everybody talking about Messi, but Mbappe has now. Oh, we got a call. Mbappe has now joined Messi as the only player in two of them World Cup history with 20 plus goals. The difference being Mbappe is younger and he's done it in 10 less games than Messi. So that's just like the potential that he has to keep on going. And I do think they win this World Cup, and Messi's only won one. So not only is France, they reached the final, it'll be the three finals in a row, but they became the fourth team ever to reach the semifinals for three straight times. So
crazy.
um, yeah, obviously they await the winner of Spain and Belgium, which is being played today, and we can go into that here in a second. But yeah, it just reinforces my view that France is the team to beat for if you want to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that yes, everyone talks about Messi. We know like it's nothing new. Messi is a legend. He's amazing, but I think that for the younger generation, like Mbappe and Holland are just like this, and I think Holland's obviously more up and coming because Norway hasn't been in the World Cup till this year, but I think that they both show similar qualities and they're different players, but they both have like that strong suit of scoring goals. And Mbappe just always finds a way to score.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Holland here in a second because I have a funny post from him. But just real quick, looking at the prediction markets after the match yesterday. So France just continues seeing their chances go up, like 40%. Clear favorite, 20% over Argentina in second place, which is just insane. And then, yeah, we have today's match, which is Spain versus Belgium, and it is 60% for Spain, 16% for Belgium. I don't know. Spain hasn't looked that good. What do you think going into this afternoon's game?
Um, I don't know. I think that honestly, Belgium looks like they have more momentum right now. But Spain did just beat Portugal. They got a clean sheet against Portugal, so I think that they're both in a good spot. But I don't know. It's a hard one to predict because Belgium did play the US and US did hand them at least like two of the goals. So people could say they look really strong, but I don't know if necessarily that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's look at the notes here from our partners at PM Analytics. So this is a rematch of the 1986 quarterfinals in Mexico. Ooh, I was like 3 months old, 4 months old. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that game, obviously. That game ended 1-1, and then Belgium won 5-4 on penalties. Um, that could be a repeat of, I mean, this year could be a repeat of that. I could see them tying or going all the way to PKs. And because if you balance the fact that Belgium, they've scored 12 goals in the last 3 games, which is an insane average of
Yeah.
4 goals per game in a World Cup. And then you have Spain, on the other hand, that has not given up a goal. We kind of had that set up between Mexico and England, where Mexico had not given up goals, and England was scoring quite high. Obviously, you can't really compare Spain to Mexico. Spain has a little bit more talent, I would say.
Yeah.
Obviously, they made it one round further. But once again, high scoring team has momentum versus a good defensive team that has quality. And again, it's this third highest, or yeah, third place for prediction markets as far as like potentially being able to win the World Cup. So
Yeah.
it'll be super interesting. And yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see Lamine. It's like, I think you and I had given him a pass over the last 2 games. We're like, yeah, you won't see him on the stats sheet because he's not somebody who goes out and scores goals. He's somebody that creates plays. But
Yeah.
he hasn't really created a lot of opportunities for Spain. I don't think he's got a goal, like what is it, a goal contribution since the second match of the group stage, which is what 3 games ago now, and that's yeah not at the same level, but he's starting to be more of like Christian Pulisic arena right now, where not really performing as his
Yeah.
team needs him to. Obviously, Spain has a awesome crop of forwards, and the rest of the team is good, but if Spain's going to not risk going to PKs versus the Belgium side, I think they want to see, I mean, wake up a little bit more today and create opportunities early on so that you can really put Belgium on the back foot early on. Because you're right. I mean, Belgium, they closed out the US game so strong. I mean, that strategy of like sitting down 3 of their best players
Yeah.
just so they could like, go over the press and it's a little different was so smart. So, the coaching staff there like really knows what they are doing.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, what do you think? What's your score forecast for this game?
S Score forecast? I don't know. I would say I think I agree with you, like, what you said, Lamine does need to step up, and I think we have given him the pass because we got the card, but now, like, it's getting into the semifinal, things are getting serious, and I think that have always said when people have a really high expectation of you as a player, it's harder than if people doubt you, and that's my take on it. I'm sure you have your own take, but, like, when you're Christian Pulisic, Lamine Yamal, everyone's like, "You're amazing and you're gonna do amazing," and if you don't do that, shame on you. But if you're a player that is not talked about as much and you have some great save like the Cape Verde goalie, like, no one expected him to perform that way, but when he did, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you're a hero." So it's kind of like you're either the villain or the hero, you can't whatever. I have empathy for the players, but at the same time, it's not about that, it's about winning, so I think that Lamine does need to step up, and I think he can get a goal today because he's shown that he can before, but, like
Could it be that he is still 18? Like, Gilberto Mora had like not his best game versus England. Could be the pressure of being
yeah,
so young. I mean, he's won a lot of things, so he knows how to win, obviously. But
yeah,
could the pressure finally be getting to him? Maybe
it could
I
be,
don't
and
know.
I think fans are really aggressive, like, I've seen it firsthand where there's a player that everyone loves, and they get messages if they don't perform, like, "You know what? You're terrible, and you shouldn't be there, and you shouldn't be playing, and you're too young," like, messages, and I've had a friend get a Venmo request for season tickets back at LSU, yeah, because he didn't play
That's
well, but
insane.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I just think
Wow.
that the
Did you
noise
put the fan on blast? I would have put the fan on blast so
no,
bad.
I mean, there's so many people get, like, hundreds of comments, like, "You're actually the worst," like, terrible things, they say horrible things, whatever, but I think as a young person and a young soccer player, it can get to you, and I don't know if that's the case, but, like, this is a huge, huge obviously, like, the biggest sports event in the world, and maybe he's just, like, kind of navigating how to handle that emotionally and keep playing the way he always does, because it's easy to say, "Oh, like, in a friendly for Spain, he got 3 goals, yes, but, like, when it comes down to the real experience of it all, I think that an experienced player can handle all this better."
Talk to me about pressure for big games. You obviously had it. How did you prepare for it? How did you deal with it? Was there anything that a teammate did that maybe stood out that you could share with us that was like wildly different?
Yeah, I don't know, I think that for me, whenever I started to, like, think about it too much is when I would play bad. Like, I had my worst game because I was in my head like, "Oh, when this ball comes, I need to do this." But, like, no, we all know as players, like, what we need to do and how we need to do it. Everyone is there for a reason, and you have the talent to execute the simple tasks, but when you start to overthink it, I think in a big game is when bruh, is when, like, you can kinda get in your head and stumble a bit. So, I don't know, I think before a big game, I just kind of remind myself why I'm there, and I in my head, like to envision things, so, like, I'll sit in a room and just stare at the wall for, like, an hour and just envision myself, like, making the simple passes and catching the ball cleanly and just things that sound like they're simple, but, like, in a big game, they're not. Like, I had a horrible mistake against a team in the SEC tournament my senior year, and that was actually the last game I ever played for LSU. But it was because I was in my head and I, like, didn't know I was so stressed out with like the pressure of this could be our last game, this could be my last game ever for soccer, that it kind of just messes it up. So I think that the biggest thing for us is like just not thinking about it, not like sitting there being like, oh my gosh, like this is such a big game. Just being like, you know what, we're gonna play, and honestly, God's got us. Like whatever's meant to happen will happen.
Was there anything like any of your teammates did that was like weird? Was there any like sort of
Mm,
preparation that you were like, that is kind of unique? Any different meals? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like people have their like
Not before, like
weird.
I mean, before games, yes, but not before, like, a big game. Like, I think that if you change up your routine, that's when you stumble across problems, you know? Like, why would you not prepare for a game against Cape Verde the same way you could prepare for a game against Spain? Is that's when, like, you get upset and you lose because you think that it's a different game, it's not. It's, like, the same game. Yes, there's different opponents, but, like, you're still playing 90 minutes, you still have to play well, and there's gonna be different tasks in each game, but, like, that doesn't mean you should change up your routine. But, like, my teammates before games, not really. I mean, everyone listens to, like, different music. We all I mean, we had a prayer circle of 4 people my junior year, and then it grew to, like, 15, so I just think, like, our team just liked to pray a lot.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. Like, I mean, you've seen on the World Cup a lot of like teams praying before, teams praying even together, like the two teams praying together. Um,
But you're not praying about, like, winning, you're praying about, like, healthy like, everyone
and
being
your
healthy.
performance, right? Like being the best that you can be.
Yeah, just performing up to your ability and, like, not trying to like my coach always said, "Don't try to do the most." Like, do what you know you're good at, and why would like, take risks, yes, but, like, if your teammate is fast and they can get to the ball in the front line, but you have, like, the ability to hit a great cross, like, don't try to overcome that and, like, do it yourself. Like, kind of execute to your ability the best you can and, like, lean on your teammates, basically.
As a goalie, if you make a mistake in game, like you don't really have a lot of time to, if you're like a field player, you can almost hide a little bit while you're getting your mind back into business, right? But as a goalie, you really can't do that. So how did you personally handle that mistake you mentioned, or maybe other mistakes that maybe didn't result in you giving up a goal that you knew were a mistake? Maybe you got lucky, or like how does that? Was there any mindset hacks that you used, or what would you tell yourself?
Mm, I actually had a really hard time with that. Like, my first 2 years, I played every game as a freshman and sophomore, so, like, I was really comfortable in playing at USD because, like, I was younger and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna make mistakes, I'm gonna do things wrong." Like, I look at film and I'm like, "What was I doing?" But it worked, like, it sometimes didn't, but when it did, I was like even that way I dove and I saved it, it just looked wrong. So I think, like, I don't know, my junior, senior year at LSU, I had a hard time with making mistakes because I was always on the chopping board. Like, I never had the position fully to myself. I played the last segment of the season my junior year, and then I played, I think, 13 games my senior year out of 20. So, like, it was always between me and another keeper, and so it just felt like, "Okay, well, if I make a mistake, they're gonna pull me and I'm not gonna play again," and it did happen. So, like, I mean, I made mistakes obviously in the beginning, but, like, when the mistakes were bad in the game, I had a super hard time trying to get out of my head. I think, like, 20 minutes after a mistake I made against UC Davis, I was standing there and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, take me off, just take me off." Which is a horrible mindset, but, like, I
Yeah,
just like, I honestly in all honesty, I did not wanna be there because I was like, "That was so bad. What am I doing? Why?" I feel like I have just learned how to play soccer.
you develop like certain like mental strength, though, right? Like for life. Because I remember when I was at Goldman, one of the biggest contrasts and differences between being at Goldman and being at Barclays was at Goldman we hired a lot of college athletes, like not still from the Ivies and like the
Yeah,
big schools for academics at
not
least.
LSU.
I don't think I ever met an LSU. I didn't interview anybody from LSU. No, I mean we had a very
No, I'm
set
just kidding, 'cause LSU
recruiting
is not the
circuit. Hey, I got
greatest.
UTSA on their recruiting list for Goldman Sachs, so I'm pretty proud of that. But no, I don't remember LSU being there. But we, out of like the whole class for like whatever UPenn, Harvard, Stanford, whatever, we really leaned on athletes. And part of the reason was because y'all athletes have had to go through some of those challenges where like
Yeah.
you put yourself in a difficult spot either by making a mistake or because your team is not as good, and you
Yeah.
have to find the inner strength to continue to perform, and to really step up to the plate. So yeah, one of the things I remember my first day of work at Goldman, not as an intern because we hired from the intern class, right? And then, but when I started as a first year in 2009, like just right after the global financial crisis, they sat us in an auditorium and they said, okay, well, you guys know all about Goldman. You were here last year. Let us tell you about you as a starting class. And they were reading just like all these achievements that my classmates had done at athletic level, like yeah, Olympic stuff, like all this crazy stuff. And I was just sitting there like, man, thank God I'm Mexican and I wear like skinny jeans because that's probably like checking like four diversity buckets and that's
Oh
why
my
I'm here.
god.
But as I progressed to the desk and started like handling the interns and like recruiting and then moved up to Barclays, that was the big difference. It was like Goldman was a lot of athletes and a lot of really good looking people, if I say so myself. No, but it was very markedly people that had done athletics, either in school or like on their personal time, and yeah, that's what my question to you was like, what kind of like mental tools do you
Yeah.
use to get through those hard times. But
Definitely prepares you for the real world, I will say. I think like it makes sense why they'd want to hire athletes. I don't really know much about, finance and everything, but I think that athletes do have not different because everyone goes through things and learns these type of traits per se, but I think that it has set me up for the real world in a sense. Like I'm kind of bulletproof on telling what people think and like failure. Like I know I'm going to fail every day. I always fail, but it's like you kind of just learn that that's a part of life and it's either you succeed or you learn. That's like the mindset.
tell you what, so after what I spent 12 years at banks, and from all the interns that I saw in the first years and those that were successful and those that were not as much, the athletes stood out for two things. One, like we just said, the ability they had been tested mentally, through challenging things that for some meant a lot.
Mhm.
And the other thing, it was discipline, because for stuff like engineering and some of the other like majors where you have to do stuff like you get to practice like
Mhm.
the craft, right? Like a lot. Like you practice. You're a chemist. You go through school doing thousands of chemical reactions and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? If you're a musician, right, and even if you go to school for music, or like a dancer, for example, like NYU has a good dancing school, or dancing major, whatever, like you practice a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas in finance, in accounting, in like this liberal arts stuff that we also hire a lot of people from, you don't really get to practice. So a lot of people don't really develop discipline. Whereas athletes do, right? You have to wake up in the morning and
Yeah.
go to, like you were describing your day yesterday. You have to practice. You have to practice. You have to
Mhm.
practice. And we saw that with the people that we hired. They were just very mentally tough,
Yeah.
and very disciplined. And so, we back back then it was like 14-hour days, 16-hour days. So people were like, ready to take on the day and then ready to come back the next day and do it again.
Yeah.
So, anyways, tangent on finance, recruiting, and having you being an athlete and me being on the recruiting side. I wanted to share with you a meme. Well, not a meme, but a post that I saw. I know you were talking about. Do you follow Haaland on Snapchat? You have Snapchat? You have
Yeah.
Snapchat? Yeah.
No. Let me go see though.
Well, I'll show you right now. So this is what he shared. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but um, he literally took a screenshot of Mbappe scoring and he captioned, "He won't let me win the Golden Boot."
Like it's funny because he doesn't it's just like a joke to him,
He's such a yeah. Well, he's such a good. He's from generation. You guys are native at social media. Uh,
That's so funny. I'm on his Snapchat
he's
right now.
What is that? What does it say?
It
I
says
just made you bigger. Put it again. Put it again in the camera.
the memes are too good. Get me off social media now, someone. And then just these selfies. Miami next. And he's coughing.
That is so funny. the man child. Honestly,
He's doing this at Fort Lauderdale.
oh my God, Haaland. I'll tell you what, though, going back to England, they're playing England in Miami. England having defeated Mexico in Mexico City, as we all know. Um, a lot was said about Mexican hospitality and like this newfound friendship between England and Mexico, even though they knocked us out. Like, Mexicans were hospitable. I mean, you all been to Cancun once. We love hosting. Um, and they're actually England is thinking of inviting the Mexican national team to come play a match at Wembley as a sort of like
Really?
friendship cup. Yes,
Oh,
because they're
that's
like
so
because all the
fun.
English fans coming back from Mexico are like Mexicans were so nice. Like they were so nice. Apparently, like at the stadium, like during the 90 minutes of the match, yeah, it was like throwing beers and like just being
Yeah,
fans. But as soon as the match ended, um, he not he the Mexicans were like singing with the English and like walking out of the stadium. They were like clapping and they were like high fiving them, saying congrats, saying good luck.
that's awesome.
So England is thinking of hosting Mexico over I don't know sometime in the future to play like a reciprocity match, which is
That's so
awesome.
awesome.
Diego says that OKX signed Haaland in Europe. He is their image. Um, Smart. I read another tweet that said Haaland is the best thing that could happen for Norway's marketing since Rudolph led the Santa sleigh or something like that. It's just really, really funny.
It's true though. Like he is so marketable in so many different ways.
Yeah, especially because he's not like the signature attractive guy, right? Like, obviously,
Yeah,
he's got a great body and people get attracted to that, but like, he's not like a model looking, like traditional model looking guy
yeah,
as far as like face and hair goes. So I think it makes it even like more funny because he stands out that much.
yeah. He can
And
definitely
he's
model though, because he has like the unique look.
yeah, yeah. No, he's gonna. I mean, he's set for life already, but I'm sure he's gonna do even better. All right, shall we move to the fun part of the stream, which
Yes,
is the
uniforms.
uniform discussions? I got you with Colombia.
Yes. So Columbia, this is their jersey, but they have little butterfly patterns that are from I don't want to butcher this name. Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Marcus,
Marquez
yeah.
novel, 100 Years of Solitude and Colombia's Literary Heritage. So that is what's on their jersey, but I don't know. It's a long sleeve jersey, right?
Well, I picked the long sleeve so people could see the print better. But they had both.
Yeah. So
They had
you
both.
really can't see it. I mean, I didn't even know there was a pattern on there when I was watching them play, to be honest. But yeah, you can see the butterflies and it's really pretty. And I think it's a pretty niche thing to have on a uniform for soccer, you know?
It is. It is. Gabriel Garcia Marquez is. He won the Nobel Literature Prize precisely for. Oh, they won it for the body of work, but that novel was a big part of that. And
Yeah.
the butterflies kind of like represent almost like surrealism, but also hope. So I love that they put that on the jersey,
Yeah.
which is yesterday we had animals. I mean, obviously they're insects, but like just go with animal
But
theme.
it's the same thing in a sense. Not the same thing, but you know what I mean. It's symbolizing like kind of the same overall meaning with different types of animals and insects and
Yeah,
art.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think I put that on one of my articles too that I wrote back in the spring when we're getting ready to drop Maybe It's Football. Cool. And then you wanted to talk about France.
Yes. Obviously they didn't wear this one yesterday, but the green away kit is a Statue of Liberty. And I think we've talked about it, but it honors it. It's not the Statue of Liberty, but it honors Statue of Liberty, which is designed by the French sculptor, and it was gifted to the United States. The copper-colored crest reflects the statue's original appearance. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think the jersey is really cool itself. I like the lines on the sleeve, but I didn't know that that was the meaning, honestly, because I think I read something about it, and I was like, "What do you mean the Statue of Liberty honors the Green Away kit? That's like in New York, you know?"
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly why actually we made our visitor jersey. Where is it? Here. because back when we first took over Meebits, we had used our visitor as a Statue of Liberty. You know, it was the same
Yeah.
color. So then when we saw the away jersey for France, we're like, man, this is like a self-referential thing where it like goes back
Full
and forth.
circle,
So
yeah.
full circle thing. Jersey still available, by the way. Yeah, I love this France jersey. I mean, it's such like it's interesting because obviously it's not a French thing per se, right? Like it doesn't represent national identity like every
Yeah.
other jersey that we've discussed so far. It represents though something for the host, which
Yeah.
is obviously the Statue of Liberty is not only one of the identity symbols for the U.S., but also the reason why France gave it to the US. The US is because they had just won their independence, and obviously France was a big supporter of the
Yeah.
US as they were, as the country was building itself up. And yeah, there's like a Statue of Liberty now in Paris that the US eventually like gave to France. And I also think it's really cool because to your point about the copper, the Statue of Liberty was originally that color, but it's now obviously oxidized to this beautiful green, which I don't know that you could have ever like come up with it and it turned it to be so beautiful if you had started with that idea,
Yeah.
which is so great. So yeah, France been bringing over this like sign of friendship and support for the U.S. From what 250 years ago, as the country celebrates its independence and hosts the World Cup. Yeah, I love this by Nike. I thought it was
Yeah.
such a hit, and it's a beautiful color too.
Agreed.
It's a beautiful color too, which is awesome. All right, and then the last one that I think caught a lot of people by surprise when we talked about it on Twitter the other day, but you wanted to dive a little bit more into it, which was
Yeah.
Belgium.
Which I feel like we talked about it earlier, but I feel like you know more than me about it. But yeah, the collar on this jersey, it says "This is not a jersey," and it's referencing an artist, Renee Marguerite.
Yes,
Yeah, and about her famous painting, "The Treachery of Images." So
treachery.
treachery, yeah.
This one.
Uh, so I think it's a really cool meaning behind it. I mean, I had no idea this was on the jersey. Is it inside the collar, or can you see it? Because I
It's
was trying
inside
to,
the collar. It's
yeah.
just in the. So here I have it here. It's inside the collar.
Yeah, but I mean, this jersey itself is so beautiful. I love like the pattern on it, the stripes, the circles. It's all just like very appealing to the eye. And I think watching them play against the US in that, I was like, all right, fine, they can beat us in this uniform.
But you want to know something? People did not know why it was pink and blue unless you really do the research. And actually, the design of it references this painting of his, which is called Voice of Space. And apparently, it's a pretty large painting. So you can see how the spheres are represented in the jersey, but they're cut in half. You see that?
Yeah.
Instead of it being the paintings on the right, the spheres are on the left. You want to know why they were cut in half?
Hmm.
Because they look like the logo of the Royal Belgian Football Association. So they used the spheres to honor Magritte, and then they also used them to put their logo in an artistic way all over the jersey, which is just like levels of creativity that
That's
I
so
would
cool.
never be able to come up with, to be honest.
I know the players probably know this, but honestly, like I as a player myself, and when there's meaning in my jersey, like no one really talks about it and they don't really know. So I wonder if like the Belgian players really know all this that goes into it.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm sure like whenever they get like their shirts and stuff,
Yeah.
they get like a little thing. But yeah, there's so many cool jerseys. I'll bring some next on Monday. I'll bring my set of jerseys that I want to highlight that I've come across. Things that I didn't even like realize when I was writing my articles. But okay, and then well, we talked a little bit about Spain and Belgium, but we didn't give like your forecast, score forecast. So, oh, did you? No, we did.
No, we did. I said,
I forget.
no, I
Yeah,
didn't say
well, I
the
woke
score
up
though.
early.
I didn't say the score though. So I think the score will be, I don't know. I think 2-0 Spain.
I want to go 1-0, 2-1 Belgium,
Okay.
just to be contrarian.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Diego's gonna like scream at me. I mean, on the chat, he said Spain will win France seemed unstoppable in 2022. Diego, France was unstoppable in 22. It came down to an Mbappe miss that sent it
Yeah.
over to PKs and then PKs, which is a coin flip. Um, I think France has shown so far this World Cup they're in top form versus Spain. I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Even without being biased, like you look at the stat lines, they're not everything, but they're a good indication of where things are going to go.
Absolutely.
AI says Spain 2, Belgium 1. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping it's a better match than the one yesterday. Yesterday's like the first half was a little boring, other than the PK being missed. I don't know. I'm getting used to like really exciting things happening around the World Cup, but now we have less matches and less excitement. Sometimes it's the withdrawal just intensifies. Cool. Well, I will be up here in the Berkshires working today and back in the studio on Monday for your last week with us.
Crazy. It went by so fast.
I know.
I was actually thinking that yesterday. I was walking in Washington Square Park, where I live near there, and I was like, this is crazy because I got here in May, and I feel like the time has just flown by. But yeah, I'll be sad to be our last week of streams and of the World Cup. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, hoping that we'll see you around New York a lot more. Well, we can say goodbyes later. It's Nike wanted to say hi. Nike.
Hello, Nike.
She's very, very distracted.
She's like, whatever. I don't care.
But you know what? It was the first road trip that she did not vomit in the car. We're so proud of her. In 5 years, first time, and it was windy. It was windy. It was very windy. We have a system now where we put like sheets that we just throw away. Like we know she likes to go on the door, on the side of the door, so I hide it. I don't know. Anyways, we know how to handle it, but it's the first time that she does it. So I am
snaps for
so proud of her. All right. Well, not just you, but everybody watching, thank you so much for being with us this week. And we should have profiled the games this weekend. Why don't we do that real quickly before we let everybody go? Because I forgot that we won't be here tomorrow. So before we let you guys go, there's 2 more matches this weekend. I'm going to put them just here from the Mivits Football website. Obviously, we have, we talked about the man-child, Norway versus England. England here being the very, very clear favorite with 52% odds versus 23% odds for Norway and 26% odds for the draw, which the draws are pretty standard across the board as I see the 3 quarterfinal matches that are coming up, 24, 26, and 27. What do you think? Obviously, we love Haaland, but without that player bias of us liking his personality, what do you think of the match from like the sporting perspective?
I mean, I agree with the stats. I think that England's the clear favorite, and I think that they're stronger as a team. I think Norway's great with Holland, but like take Holland out, they're not winning. So I think that it just really comes down to who can execute, but I think England's going to win.
You think England's going to win? Okay. What would you say? Like a 2-0? Does Haaland score? Maybe 2-1?
I'm going to go 3-2.
Wow, high scoring game. Okay. Kind of like the Mexico-England game. I feel like Norway can pull off the upset. I don't know.
I don't know who I want to win, but I almost want Norway to win because I like Holland.
Same. But wait, you like Haaland over?
No, but like Holland's funny, and I think that I like to see the underdog win,
Given the choice of doing an TikTok reel with Haaland or with Jude?
Jude. 100%.
I didn't even finish the question. All right, so Jude. Okay, but you're cheering against Jude.
I don't know. I really don't care who wins. I just want it to be a good game and watch good soccer.
Okay, so you want England, Norway to be a good game, and I don't think we'll be surprised. This is these 3 games. Nobody will be surprised with any outcomes unless it's like a blowout.
Yeah.
Right? Like if Argentina goes down to Switzerland, people will look at Argentina's, body of work so far in the World Cup, be like, okay, yeah, they haven't really played anybody, and like, they came down to the wire versus both Cape Verde and where wasn't the last one? I forget. And England again, maybe they got a little lucky with 2 goals in 5 minutes versus Mexico, and then held on for dear life. Whereas Norway, completely dominated Brazil. and has just really been really efficient. And then Spain and Belgium again pretty even, I would say, across the board. I mean, as I look here, well, let's talk about Argentina and Switzerland. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the markets. What do you think about Argentina, Switzerland? Switzerland also really cool stuff about the uniform, which I will tell you guys on Monday that you will really really like, especially because you like travel. But talking about this final quarterfinal match, Switzerland is 16% versus Argentina that has been really weak for the first half. It gets me excited. It gets me excited about maybe putting some into Switzerland and then taking it off either at the refreshment break or at the halftime. I don't think that it's that, like, if you look at both teams, I don't think it's that. It shouldn't be that for Argentina. What do
Yeah.
you think? I know what Diego would say,
I
but
don't I don't agree with the predictions here, but I do think Argentina is going to win.
okay,
But I think
okay,
Switzerland's very strong. I just think that Argentina, kind of like yesterday's game, I think they'll have like a 2-0 win.
all right,
What do
all
you
right.
think?
I mean, if Argentina's going to win, I would want them to remove any doubt, a lot of the doubts that we have about their performances so far and coming to the wire and almost winning. I mean, almost going at least to overtime with two relatively weaker teams. So if they're going to actually make a case for themselves as a serious contender, which the
Yeah.
market thinks they are, the second strongest side after France, I will want to see it on Saturday. Um, with them really having a dominating match where they're strong on defense, right? They're giving up a lot of goals to
Yeah.
weak teams. I mean, I don't think if you're gonna get to a game versus France that's gonna be good for you. So I would want to see a 2-0 Argentina, 3-0 Argentina. Otherwise, I think they just they blow out at the semifinal stage.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like we've said, France Argentina final will be really fun to watch.
It would, it would a rematch. All right. Well, with that now, we can say goodbye and
Hopefully
look.
everyone didn't leave when we were already saying goodbye, but yeah.
No, we still have some people in there, so I appreciate you guys for sticking around for this extra 5 minutes to look at the games coming up. And yeah, have an awesome weekend, everybody. Get some rest because there's only what 1, 2, 4 matches left after Saturday night.
That's
So
weird.
yeah, and then nothing for 4 years, but a lot of good tournaments in between now
Oh,
and
I
then.
don't like that.
All right, well, let's not be sad. We have 3 good
Well, make
matches
the
coming
most of
up.
these games. Watch them. Cheer on your teams. Cheer on Jude. Cheer on Holland. And then, yeah. Thank
Cheer and Jude. All right. Well, have a
you,
great weekend,
AI.
guys. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you same place, same time on Monday.